What is up, guys? Welcome back to Awesome Kids TV. We are back for more awesome Buildcraft gameplay for y'all today. We are back and in Buildcraft, and yes, we're going back to Binary Time Bay. We have been there in a couple of episodes. So, yeah, we are going to go back there yet again. I'm gonna do it the fast way. So let me, back up. Hold on. I forgot to, put the back on the .exe Time Bay portal. Whoops. Yeah, I forgot to do that the last time we were here. So sorry. I'm so sorry. There we go. Now that portal is like every other portal. Alright, let me back up. The second count is 30, right? So I'm gonna count to 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, I'm 30 feet away. Let's go. Back to Binary Time Bay. In this video, we are going to build Binary Time Bay. You guessed it, a brand new castle. That's right, a robot castle. In the previous video, we have made this lovely robotic town. And yeah, in our previous videos, we have made this town with the robotic trees and the robot bright house. And honestly, it looks pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, we got to put some redstone antennas on the tops of these trees, so we gotta put a redstone antenna, so there we go. Replace that with that. There we go. Redstone powered antennas. I love that idea. It is looking quite beautiful out here in Binary Time Bay. It does. It is Binary Time Bay. Sorry, I misunderstood someone. Anyway, as I was saying, that it is looking quite beautiful out here in Binary Time Bay. Every robo pony is feeling quite happy, and nothing can possibly go wrong except for you know, disaster. It could strike anyone around here. Anyway, let us go and build this castle. We are starting off with the sidewalk that leads all the way up to the castle itself. So we are going to make the sidewalk look really nice. For the sidewalk effect, for the effect of the sidewalk, we are actually going to make it look like there are plus signs, like a brick pattern, right? Like a brick pattern in the sidewalk. We're gonna make it look like that. Our old neighborhood, the last neighborhood, one of the neighborhoods we used to live in had like a section of sidewalk with like a brick that was made of concrete and bricks. And so we are going to try to make something a little similar. Anyway, we shall get to it. For the sidewalk plus effect, I am using pillar quartz for the plus sidewalk effect. I'm using pillar quartz and chisel quartz to make that effect happen. So, yeah, that is what I am doing to make it look like a brick sidewalk. That is what I am doing right here. It is so hard to... That is what I want. Anyway, it is so hard to talk with those two a-holes in the way. You are not going to interrupt. Anyway, as I was saying, this whole entire sidewalk is looking pretty good so far. But that this part of this beautiful town is not done yet. Speaking of not done yet, if you guys are subscribed, then you might not have known this, but Alex Clark and his family used to live in a house that resembled the one from Encanto, right? The Encanto house. You know, the one from Encanto, the movie about a family known as the Madrigals going on magic adventures. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. I know what I know what you're thinking, and you are probably thinking there is no way you can possibly know what the frick I am thinking. And why do you even bother to listen to all the songs from the movie Encanto? It's a kids movie. Why would you bother to watch that on a TV app or something? Well, I don't know. And speaking of that, I will watch more 2BTV and come up with an amazing short idea after I get this video up and running. Anyway, the sidewalk is looking fabulous. This is looking pretty nice. Now we shall add some iron tree saplings that are growing. Let me go and get the iron ore. There you go. Iron ore and iron itself, naturally. They're the main resources of this very dimension. Those two workers said some offensive words on my channel. You mother frickers. They're mother frickers, guys. They're mother frickers. Freak you, mother fricker. Freak you. Sorry, I'm trying to have a good day, but those mother frickers have said an offensive word. Speaking of that, we mother frickers are freaking you mother frickers up in here. Yeah, you better say our words. Sorry, I'm misunderstanding people. I should have done this after they done their job. I'm doing this during their job. Never make a video during somebody's job, man. It ain't worth it. Speaking of that, these iron trees are looking very nice. The iron ore wood bottom and the iron block leaves are looking very beautiful. These are just trees that are sprouting. They're growing. They haven't grown up yet in this alternative reality. This reality is very robotic and robust and stuff like that. Alright, those are all the trees on this side of this dimension. Now I'll make all the trees on the other side. Same materials as before. And of course they are going to be little saplings, but one day they are going to grow up into each other and make a giant colony of trees. I know they can. we I am using a different technique to make the trees, a very different technique to make the trees. I start with the leaf on top, then go to the leaves on the bottom of the tree and continue from there. That is how I am building these trees to make it very, very awesome looking. The antenna detailing is a very nice touch. I'm not kidding. It's a very nice touch. We will add antennas to every single one of these trees so that every single one of those trees will look robotic. It feels like we're in a binary bottom. You know, binary bottom from that SpongeBob special that was upcoming at the time. Yeah, pretty awesome stuff. I watched the preview of it many times. Anyway, it is now time to make the bridge to this robotic castle. Quiet, you two, quiet. No, I'm not going to burn it up. You are going to burn it up. You are going to burn it up. Sorry, I thought those two were telling me I was going to burn it up. Burn it up. Sorry. Speaking of that, if you guys have been for a wrong number story, oh boy, you can relate to Rebecca and, James of the Odd Ones Out, because they have been through the exact same situation. They have. Speaking of that, you see, when James was younger, he grew up in a generation where smartphones were a new thing, and everyone in his class, except for him, poor James. His parents never really got him one because they didn't want him to access the internet on a little device that can fit in his pocket, because at the time they were super duper strict and didn't want him looking at internet stuff, which backfired horribly, by the way. So they never gave him a smartphone until he was like 16 years old. But now that he is an adult who uses a cell phone every day of his life for years, because he has done that for a long time now, he has no idea how he would survive for literally 16 years without one. And yes, I do have superpowers and you don't. Speaking of that, I'm getting interrupted a lot. Speaking of that, with that cell phone, James got into a lot of weird incidences where sometimes a random person would call him thinking he was someone else and then absolutely would not admit they were wrong. And that's how you segue into the theme of this month's gameplay. Anyway, this first wrong number story happened back at Suabwe. That's right, another Suabwe story. Hashtag Suabwe4. It wasn't good enough to be in the other three. So it was 5 minutes till closing time at the Suabwe sandwich store restaurant, and they got a call from somebody on the Suabwe phone. James picked it up and said, thank you for calling Suabwe, how may I help you? He was supposed to say, this is James, how may I help you? But he did want to tell that random frickin' stranger his flippin' name. Frickin' idiot. Anyway, the guy on the phone was all like, hey, what time do you guys close? And the restaurant, and James was all like, in 5 minutes. And the caller was all like, is it alright if I show up late? I just need gas. He was and James naturally was all like, oh, don't worry, sir. This sandwich will give you plenty of gas. I mean, do you want chips or something? No, he said. I just want gas. James naturally was a little confused at the time. And the call went on and until it hit him. The first thing he ever said to him was, thank you for calling Subway. Hey, don't curse. Awesome Kids TV is a family-friendly channel. I'm gonna kick your freaking ass for saying those flippin' curse words. Marsh frick. Anyway, as I was saying before, I got interrupted by that curse word user. James thought he was talking to a gas station. So James said, sir, this is a subway? And then James was all like, oh, and then hung up. He freaking hung up. Yeah, you better not do your job while I'm making a video. You have to do your job after I make a video. Those mother frickers are absolute idiots. You heard that, mother frickers? You're a bunch of mother frickers. Mother flippers. Frick you. Speaking of that, this next story from James, you probably haven't heard in a while, takes place at James's home at literally 9:30 in the morning. And James was, of course, lying in his bed asleep, and naturally, most people would agree that you're supposed to be awake and productive at 9:30. But, of course, at the time, James didn't want this random stranger to think he was absolutely lazy, and so he had to answer the phone with his best I've been awake for several hours voice. And so he prepares, just like always. And he said, hello? And then the woman on the phone said, you're going to have to come quickly. Timmy fell down 12 vents. And they were all like, what? I said, you're going to have to come quickly because Timmy fell down 12 vents. Now, at the time, James naturally could tell it was a woman on the phone, but it was either her accent or the phone being buggy or that he had just woken up. But at the time, he could not absolutely understand what the frick that person was saying, and he could only make out one word, which was Vance. So, he did not have a lot to pick off of. And so he said, I think you have the wrong number. And then this happens. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. No, you gotta come quickly because Timmy fell down the beep. And then he went back to sleep, but yet again he got a call from the same number. And James thought, okay, maybe this person is calling again, even though I explicitly told her she had the wrong number. Maybe it's not a wrong number after all. Maybe there's something else going on. maybe it's an emergency, so maybe, talk to me. And then she said, Hana, Vance. And James was all like, okay, I cannot understand anything you're saying. But then this woman passed her phone to her friend, and a different voice started talking, and James could understand her, and she will never forget what she said to him. He will never forget it, which was, Vance, no one thinks that you're funny. And even though he's not Vance, that kind of hurt. So he stated the obvious, which was, yes, I am, and I'm also not Vance. And she goes, no, Lance. So the whole time, those two have been looking for a Lance. And so James told this woman, I'm not Lance either. And of course, she naturally goes, well, this is the number they gave me. Alright, if she said it like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, this is the number they gave me. I didn't mean to call you, stranger. Also, I do think you're funny and enjoy your videos. Then that would have been fine. She's just shipping the blame to someone else. Yeah, at the time she was blaming something on somebody else. But then she hung up on James. Like, this woman just basically called a random number and went, you're not funny, and then hung up. So James decided to call her back and said, hey, I just found the real Lance. He's the funniest guy you ever met. And he told me he doesn't give his number out to real pieces of just kidding on the last part. He thought about doing it, but then he went back to sleep. He didn't do that at all. Don't worry, I was blocking out the curse words those motherfrickers were saying. And yes, they hate my non-curse words. They think they are not appropriate. Curse words are offensive to me, you two, and my family. Speaking of that, this castle layout is looking very nice. This is going to be a tower type castle, so naturally it is going to be tower-like. It's going to be very tower-like. And we'll have like a you idiot, you bee, you son of a bee, motherfrickers. Anyway, as I was saying, this whole entire castle will have a secret underground laboratory where the castle owner can, where roboline can do some scientific experiments and stuff like that. And of course, naturally go, it's alive, moi, when the creation comes alive. Yeah, when the creature comes alive, when your evil creation, when you're a evil mad scientist in a mad scientist movie, you always have to yell, it's alive, whenever your evil creation comes alive. When your creation comes to life, you yell, it's alive, mohahaha. And then the creature goes out on a rampage. And then the military saves Zed Town from doom and destruction. Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, my monkey hat's eyes started glowing after I pushed its light up feature too many times. How is that even possible, you may ask? I have no idea. I have no idea how on earth that is frickin' possible. That seems really impossible. But anyway, this castle's looking very nice, very fancy. We have 2-block tall glass windows on it, and a royal looking entrance. We'll put the iron bars on there. There you go. Now the quartz slabs, and there you go. That is part 1 done. Thank you for watching. No, you just got owned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.